Simon,
Andy.
you're organising the exhibition.
We are.
Again.
Yeah.
Every exhibition we come to, I end up interviewing you, and frankly, I'm running out of questions to ask. What can we do to spice things up a bit?
Well, I think, like you, Andy, I'm getting bored by you interviewing me, so
Okay,
actually,
thank
I'm
you.
going to interview you.
What? I hope you are not serious.
I am serious,
You are
completely.
serious, okay, fire away.
Andy, I
Yes,
know
Simon.
you've got an old motorhome.
Yes, I do.
If you were going to buy a new motorhome, which one would you buy?
That's a great question. Actually, truly, people do try and persuade me to buy their motorhomes, all sorts of people.
Yep.
And I just cannot find anything new that does things better than my 13-year-old Leica.
Okay.
They're nicer, they're shinier, they're newer, they've got little bits that may appeal to me, but as an actual thing to get about in and spend lots of time in, you can't beat my old Leica.
You can't. Right. Okay. So, in terms of innovation, which manufacturer do you think is leading the way?
Oh dear, oh dear. It depends what you're looking for, doesn't it? I think the answer to most questions of that type are, it all depends. I think Bailey are doing a great job.
Yep.
They've got some really innovative ideas, British, shall I say,
Yep.
ideas. Up in Scotland, you've got East Newt motorhomes who are really radical.
Yep.
I don't think they're here at this show.
No, they're not.
And a lot of the European manufacturers have all got interesting ideas, lift up tailgates and different ways of putting in beds.
Yep.
There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. In fact, I'll tell you what, Wheelhome here, I've got a very interesting little feature, which is an induction hob.
Right.
So it's a completely gas-free motorhome, and the hob is electric. It runs off the battery. I think that's really interesting. We're actually going to have a good look at that
Okay.
sometime in the near future.
So, what should people consider when they're coming to a show?
Well, the great thing about a show like yours
Yep.
is that you can get to see a whole range of motorhomes and caravans from all sorts of manufacturers, and it's so much easier than going from dealer to dealer to dealer, sometimes all around the country. maybe.
Absolutely. So, everyone these days is a bit concerned about their weight. What about you?
Are they? I'm not concerned about my weight. Weight's important, and curiously, we haven't actually pre-arranged this at all, but I was talking to a manufacturer of a caravan mover earlier on,
Yep.
and it's a new mover. One of their claims is that it's lighter than any other caravan mover on the market, and that's important because the more we go on, the more people want to put into their caravans: microwaves,
Yep.
televisions, satellite systems. Understandably, but of course there is a limit to what you can put in a caravan or a motorhome. Weight is very important, and people often forget that. And you can easily overload your caravan or motorhome, and that's actually a very interesting point. You should be very careful of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your weight?
What's your weight? Well, I'm constantly watching
You're
mine.
looking
It's
lovely
expanding, sadly. But no, so in terms of celebrities, shows always have celebrities on various days. Who would you like to see at the show?
Do you know who I'd really like to see?
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson. That's
Yeah,
what
that
I'd
would
really,
work for me.
really like to see. I'm
However,
not,
being more realistic.
I'm not very big on celebrities. I don't read the right magazines.
Yep.
I believe there are magazines that deal with this kind of thing, and I just don't read them. I read motorhome and caravan magazines.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, that's all I'm interested in. Meeting you is probably as good as it gets for me, Simon.
Yes, stop it. Right, referring to magazines, which ones do you read?
I do read them all because
read them
I
all?
I get sent them all, and I read them all.
Yeah.
Not from cover to cover, not every single word, but I do look every single one: caravans and motorhomes and boats as well.
Boats as well. Yeah, I know you've got a narrowboat.
Big on
and
boats.
that's just life in the slow lane, isn't it, that one?
Very slow.
Yeah.
But can I actually ask you, mentioning boat, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Talking about boats, this show a couple of years ago, and for many years prior to that, had boats.
Yeah, it was the boat and caravan
It
show.
was. You think that we need boats? Or
Personally, I don't see them as a particularly good fit. I mean, the NEC is about as far as you can get from the sea in the UK, so you narrow it down to
Absolutely
the narrowboat
right.
only
Yeah.
market. I'd rather do one thing well than a number of things in an average manner. And I think certainly as a market, this is a deal more dynamic than the narrowboat market.
And how has this show worked? 'Cause this is the first one,
Yeah, it
isn't it? The spring caravan and camping show. So how is the show going?
Well, we're into day 3 now, and actually the first 2 days have gone really well. We've had a good crowd through. I think the weather's been kind to us, which is a definite advantage and a bit of a change for February. And fingers crossed, it keeps going through the weekend.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Andy, finally, you're considered a bit of a gadget man. So which
Am
gadget would you not leave home without when you're going motorhoming or caravanning?
Well, excellent questions. You can have my job.
Do you want mine?
Yes.
Okay.
During the recent cold weather, when it was snowy, I have a friend who last winter fell over, broke his wrist, and has had to retire from work because he can't use his right hand anymore. So I got these new things for shoes called snow socks. I'm not wearing them indoors, obviously, but they're just the same as tyre socks for cars and motorhomes, but they're for your feet. And I was wearing them in the snowy weather, and they're absolutely fabulous. I feel they saved my life on at least one occasion.
Excellent.
And curiously enough, that's something that I'm going to be packing in my motorhome whenever I go away in the winter. Apart from that, there are so many gadgets I can't even begin to tell you how excited I get by them all.
It's really rather sad, isn't it?
It's sad. Thanks very much,
Andy,
Simon.
thank you very much, as always. Cheers.